Alright, look at us. We live. Beautiful. Let's find what I want to see. Keep an eye on the chat for me. Live. Beautiful. Me watching me. Good morning. Get this up right now. What we do need is just this for now. Excellent for the second. Good morning. If anyone's joining, if not, obviously, if you're watching the video, thank you. This is Bankster, DFS.com. This is the MLB Heat Map live. We're gonna look at both slates today. And yeah, come check us out at banksterdfs.com. $3.99 we get you access to everything that we do. All of our content, all sports, major sports, college sports, niche sports, pro sports, whatever it is. Slack chat's the place to be. We post all of our articles in the Slack chat, all of our player pools, all of our recommendations. Johnny's already sitting in the MLB room posting thoughts for the day. It is fantastic. Please make sure while you're here, like, share, subscribe, click the notification icon so that you know when we go live, when we post videos. Build those numbers. If you're in the chat room, make sure you say hello. Right now, though, let's start building. Let's build the slate. Early slate. Johnny just put this in our chat room, but he ain't wrong. Pitching looks #not good, and it is not. This is the whole day is going to be rough unless something comes out from the heat map. I just don't see how we're going to play cash on this slate, and really the late slate, the main slate. I don't really see it either. I just don't. It's not a cash day, I don't believe, but we'll see. If we get something that pops, maybe, just maybe, it'll end up being a cash day. But just looking at the straight data, pitchers themselves, forgetting the opposing players and park factor and BVP and all that good stuff, no pitcher really stands out as someone who is going to give us that strong day. Gomber, if he's playing in Colorado, actually, I would like, but he's not. They're in Texas. So, no one's got a strong strikeout percentage. They all have walk issues except for Dakota Hudson. They all have home run issues except for Carlos Hernandez, Dakota Hudson, Thompson, and Hauser. Hauser might be in a good spot. We'll have to take a look and see. No one's getting crushed on ground balls and fly balls, which is good. No one pitches a lot of innings, though. Only Aaron Savale comes close to 6 innings. Though, he could be useful. He's a good pitcher. Alright, we need to pull up our park factor here. What happened to my... it's over here. Ah, gotcha. Okay, there's our park factor. Whew. Thought we had a problem there. Alright. So, let's see who's playing where. Carlos Hernandez, right-handed pitcher, playing versus Cleveland still. And that means Savale is Cleveland. And Casey is a pitcher's park. Alright, maybe Savale's going to do something for us. Maybe he's going to pop a little bit. Let's see. Orioles are playing against Milwaukee. Okay, alright, Hauser could be in play too. Baltimore, I do believe. Okay, number 1. Hitters park in baseball last year, though they have changed the fences, so that's going to make it a little more difficult. Dakota Hudson, St. Louis is playing Pittsburgh. Johnny has reported that there's weather here. Is Gomber? No, who's pitching for Pittsburgh? Zach Thompson. Okay, Thompson used to be Miami. All right. He's actually been okay with strikeouts in the past. But if the game's not going to play, Pitcher's Park, though you wouldn't know it from this series. Good gracious. Taylor Hearn. Taking on the Rocks. And Texas. Arlington is neutral for home runs. Alright, so we're good there. We can get rid of this column. Get rid of this column and try to go kind of quick today. Let's see if we can streamline this process a little bit. Of course, I gotta have everything looking pretty. All right, let's take a look at the BVP. This is the process that kind of sucks because daily baseball data used to have this. As not a problem, and now it just used to be. I gotta look it all up. Good morning, Sean. How you doing, bud? Thanks for joining. Just trying to go through this process here, man. Figure out what we're going to do with this early slate. It is butt ugly. I'm going to guess Hernandez has no real BVP. No. This is going to be ugly, 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 ugly. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Just take me to Bruce. Oh, thank God. Keep hitting the enter button instead of clicking on the son of a gun. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. We'll get there next time. We'll get there next time. Let's see, Zimmerman, no real BVP, blah, nothing, not enough data for us to be conclusive. Seville might have some BVP here that we can look at. He might be the best pitcher. Him, Hauser. Hudson should have a good matchup, but is Hudson a great pitcher? No. Oh, there's like no strikeout there. A little bit of power upside here. Believe it or not, this is not a great BVP matchup. Now, there's only 53 at-bats, so we're only going to take a half a point away from him, but that was our chance at a green, and it's probably gone now. I don't see how we're going to have a green pitcher on this slate. It's a GPP slate. I don't see how we do cash. It's not good for the afternoon slate either, Sean. Sean said it was a gross slate, and pitching, and both slates are going to be awful for pitching today. I was looking last night before bed, and I just don't see cash being viable. And you don't have to play cash every day, though. I will talk about a little bit here. All right, now Dakota Hudson's an interesting. He's 20% K rate, which isn't very high, but BVP against him. Let's see, Gamble should be in the lineup. Newman, Reynolds, Tucker, maybe Van Meter will be in the lineup. I mean, he has handled them. I'm going to give him a little bit of credit here because we need to find a pitcher that's worth the squat. And so we're going to look at a small sample size on this one and give him credit for it because small sample sizes, I believe, are just the beginning of larger sample sizes, right? Every large sample size starts as a small sample size. And on a slate like this, we're going to try to find every edge that we can find. So I'm going to take a look here. Taylor Hearn, all right, 10 at-bats is not enough. It's just not enough. That's too small of a sample size. So something I was thinking about last night with this this slate is, you know, if let's say you're on a $100 budget, and with baseball, I really do try to stay 70-30 cash to GPP, 80-20, somewhere in between there. And I was kind of doing the math. In order to break even, if you're going 80-20, you need to win about 63% of the time on your cash games, and that's if you lose every GPP. But if you can hit your cash game 63-64% of the time on, if you go 80-20, and anything on GPPs is gravy. So anything you hit. So if you hit a big GPP, that's where your profit comes in, right? But on a day like today, right, I'm not going to then go and say, okay, my budget's $100 every single day, and today I'm not really going to play cash, so I'm just going to put $100 in GPPs. I would not do that. Today is a day that I would take a look and just go, you know what, if I'm playing $100 normally and I do 80-20 split, I'm going to just do $20 in GPPs today and just skip the cash part. I think that's the way to go on a GPP day. Maybe you increase it to $30, but I wouldn't spend my whole budget today and just say, oh, GPPs, because GPPs are far more volatile, and if you miss, that's just so many more days that you're going to have to hit on cash, and that's going to have to up that percentage so much higher. I don't think it's worth it. Let's see, 41, 9 out of 41, and a little over 20% for Gomber. But he's not playing the Dodgers, so we need to me to go against the Rangers. I don't know why it has him facing the Dots, because they just faced the Dodgers. Stupid. Alright, he hasn't done anything against them. Good lord, this is just... I'm doing this because I feel I have to, but I just don't see BVP being a big issue in this slate. I am a BVP guy, though. Like, I do believe in BVP. I think it matters, because let's say you got a guy who hits someone well. And... like I think it was Goldie against Lincecum. Like if Goldie is reverse splits and he hits right-handed pitching well, and then he hits Lincecum well on top of that, who's also a right-handed pitcher, it just makes sense that you would want to look at that BVP because there's something to that to me. And it like Trout is that way with, is it Marco Gonzalez maybe or Kikuchi? One of the pitchers that used to pitch or does pitch for the Mariners, like. Trout just hammers him, and he's a lefty, and then Trout hits lefties well. So, like, why? And I understand we're using bigger names, but I think it actually makes more sense with the smaller names because you got a guy like Charlie Culberson who hits lefties really well. If Charlie Culberson has a good BVP against the left-handed pitcher, to me that holds so much more credence. So I do look at BVP, and I do think it matters. All right, we got Hauser going up against. They're not playing the Cubs today, though. They're playing the Orioles. See, this is where I got to pay attention to what I'm doing. Nothing. All right. Garbage. Okay. So that was a waste, mostly a waste of time. We got a little extra points for Dakota Hudson. All right, let's take a look here. Now, Cleveland. We're going to take a look at what Cleveland does against right-handed pitching. And Cleveland has faced a righty already this year. And I'm just going to go with the data that I already had there because I think I used the lineup that they actually used that day. Yeah. So we're just going to take a look here. All right. So that's a positive matchup here for OBP. It's a neutral matchup for that and a positive for strikeouts. Look at that. Carlos Hernandez. He's just not going to get the innings, I don't think. So that's going to be an issue. Let's see. Milwaukee. What's their... How are they against lefties? They faced Justin Steele and got crushed by Justin Steele this year. And I loved Justin Steele, and I didn't use him. All right, we don't have any data for that yet, so we're going to have to figure it out. Let's see. Who's going to be in the lineup? McCutcheon's in the lineup. Renfro's going to be in the lineup. Tyrone Taylor's going to be in the lineup. Urias is going to be in the lineup. Adames, even though he's reverse splits, will be in the lineup. Brissell's going to be in the lineup. Kane and Yelich are going to be in the lineup. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have a catcher. I'm going to have to put a catcher even though I don't want to in this one. All right, we'll put Narvaez even though I don't think he's going to be the catcher. But once we get the actual lineup, so if you're a Bankster DFS member, I update this throughout the day. So as we get the actual lineups, you'll get the updates on that, and we'll actually figure out what's really going to happen here. And this is more just, this is one of those, it's a first look, right? So this gives us an idea of kind of where we're at. Let's see, 323, so neutral Woba, 189, that's not good for Zim. And 21.5 strikeout rate, neutral, Zimmerman's in trouble. We like the Brewers today. All right, let's go. Kansas City. Of course, yesterday I didn't like Cleveland. They blew up for like 1 million runs, but I just run the data. Like the data is what the data is. I can't win them all, and that's actually important. All right, let's see. Since he's faced a righty. So we're just going to go with the data there. It looks good. Or Kansas City's faced a righty, not Cincy. Kansas City's faced a righty. Looking good for Seville. I won't say across the board, but he's getting closer there. He is currently the top pitcher on the slate. No, there's not a ton of confidence. Not enough for me to run cash with him, I don't believe. If I find bats that really work for me in cash, I suppose you could run Seville and Hudson or Seville and Hauser and get away with it. I don't, maybe I'll do a little bit less. Maybe I'll just lower my budget, right? So if I was doing a $100 budget, maybe I'll only do like a $60 budget or a $40 budget. And I'll go like, $10 in GPP and $40, maybe around $50 out there, right? $40 in cash. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I just don't trust these pitchers. I trust my data, but, it doesn't mean you have to play the pitchers. All right, let's see what Pittsburgh's going to do against a righty. You're going to get Reynolds, Vogelbach. You're probably going to get Gamble. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. Van Meter's 8. Do we have a catcher in there? We don't. So we'll put Perez in there for 9, though I think the lineup might look a little bit different. But again, we're just getting an idea here. And it could change. We saw the lineup the other day change, and it affected the pitching, and it actually helped us do really well with our cash. So that's where the updates come in big. That's why our Slack chat matters, and being a Bankster DFS member, because you get those updates. And I believe in what we do here, obviously. And for less than $4 a week, you really can't go wrong. All right, so looking good for Hudson there, looking good there, 23.6, looking good there. Hey, we got a green pitcher today, and it is Dakota Hudson. He can get the innings. But let's be honest, too, right? Now, I know I'm taking a lot of time with this, but let's be honest. Not a lot of pitchers are going more than 5 innings right now. So even if you get 4 innings, yeah, you're not going to get the win, but we don't chase the win anyway. So I'm not 100% sure that I'm overly concerned about the innings so much. I mean, obviously innings are points, but if no pitcher's going to go more than 5 innings, 6 innings, I mean, maybe Seville goes 6, like maybe Hauser goes 6. I'm not terribly worried if Hudson goes 4 innings. If he can get me, 1 earned run and 5 strikeouts in those 4 innings, I'm okay with that. I'll have to double check the prices and see. All right. Colorado versus a lefty. I always take points off of Colorado. I always give pitchers the benefit of the doubt when we're not in Colorado because their numbers are so skewed. Whoops. That's not where I want to put it. I want to put that here. So nothing for Woba, nothing for ISO, and nothing for... They're just the neutral matchup right now, though. Hearn could be okay. Gomber going into Texas. Because Texas can kind of go both ways and be both a hitter and pitcher park. All right, this looks good for Gomber. I mean, this is a good matchup, I guess. Though, here's the thing, right? Against lefties. Like, Ibanez can hit lefties. Simeon hits lefties. I don't love lefty-lefty, so I'm not going to play Seager. Solak can hit lefties, though he doesn't have a ton of power. Garver can hit lefties. Jonah Heim can hit lefties. Adolis Garcia can hit lefties. Let's rebuild this. Let's make sure I got the right players in here. Like, it just feels like, all right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll put Brad Miller in there for 9. Yeah, okay, this is looking... I didn't have the right lineup in there. Why don't I have Culberson? It's going to be Culberson. Where's my Culberson data? Interesting. What the hell happened to this data? This data was off. And you add in the fact that Culberson's even better. Alright, so now we go. This is neutral. This is bad. Alright, that makes a lot more sense. And again, you factor in Culberson over whoever, over Brad Miller. That's going to actually make this matchup worse for him. Okay, I feel better about that now. This is why we got to double check our data, because I've just been playing around the other day. Alright, St. Louis against a righty. St. Louis has been just mashing the cover off the ball. All right, I've been like literally dead on with my St. Louis predictions, but you know what? We got to make sure that everything's the same, because now I don't trust anything that I put on there because I've been playing around too much. All right, it's been O'Neill, Goldschmidt, Bader. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, data was spot on there. And even if Knizer goes instead of Molina, they have very similar data, so it doesn't really matter, honestly, in that case. Oops, we don't. Oh no, we do want Carlson. We want Mute Bar. Sounds super healthy. All right, let's see. Neutral. Okay, not a great matchup for Zach Thompson. And finally, let's look at Hauser. Hauser is righty, right? Okay. I hate when I mess that up. The data doesn't help if you do it wrong. All right, let's see who's going to play for St. Louis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Against a righty. 8, 9. Okay. One, two, three, 4. I don't like. Is DJ Stewart hurt? There's got to be a reason he's not playing, right? DJ Stewart's actually not bad. Like, this lineup is not bad. It's not terrible. All right, we've got. Oops. And that's. All right, so now we got it. Now we've got our pitching, and we're gonna go here, and we're gonna sort it, and we've got Dakota Hudson is green. I can't believe we have a green pitcher. Seville. All right, so the pitchers I thought would be okay ended up being okay, and I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about Colorado. I mean, Hearn has bad numbers, but they're not in Colorado, and it's rough when they're not in Colorado. So we'll take a look here. Let's pull this. All right, so that's our pitcher rankings for now. Let's take those rankings, or let's take those pitchers, and let's find out what we can do with some splits, and let's build that heat map. If we get through this quick enough, we may just be able to work on the main slate as well. I've sort of pre-sorted those names. All right, let's get over here. No BVP Warriors today, which is crazy town. That makes it almost even more pure look here, right? We're looking straight data. How do you hit? Forget your history. I kind of dig that. Alrighty, let's see what we got going on here. It's pretty. Delete that column. Delete that column. Delete this column. Who are we going after? All right, let's see. Baltimore is facing. Well, listen, we know. Who is Baltimore facing? See, this is what old looks like. All right, and we've got right-handed Kansas City bats. But we don't love them. Don't love them. KC. Colorado, maybe Texas. I'm not in love with it. And then for lefty bats, we're looking at, let's see, Thompson's Bissell, St. Louis. Oh, St. Louis does not have lefty. Well, they have Carlson. They don't have a lot of lefty bats. That's okay. Wow, not a lot to love, even from the batting perspective. This is going to be an ugly slate. All right, so let's see. Royals against righty. Versus right as a right. Let's see what Kansas City can do. Kansas City. Edward Olivares, Sal Perez, Hunter Dozier for power. Position does Dozier play these days? First or third? First and outfield. All right, That's one done. Boom. Moving on to the next one. Colorado. Now this one is even less. Versus lefty as a righty. This is even less valid because it includes home data, which obviously we don't care about in this case. Like, see, that's... But I can't look at both versus lefty as righty and away at the same time. So we're going to... And we're just going to take the data and then grain of salt it. So Rogers, Crone, Joe, Bryant. I do like Connor Joe. Connor Joe's, this is going to be a good year. Jose Iglesias, Garrett Hampson. And a little power upside from Elias Diaz. These power upside bats, by the way, have been popping hard. All right, let's take grain of salt here. Even with the grain of salt, these first four guys are in good shape. Depending upon what's going on with the roof in Texas, they could be a good play. Texas versus a left is a right. We're gonna look at the Rangers. Alrighty then. There it is. There's our boy, Culberson, Ibanez, Simeon, and Solak. If you're playing cash, Culberson and Ibanez are going to be people you want. And then if you're playing tournaments, this is where you add in Mitch Garver. Jonah Heim, to me, he's more of a one-off. I think one of those guys will play DH. And there's Adolis Garcia. Like Texas, I like Texas today. I know when you look at the model in the rankings, Gomber is decent-ish, but I think Texas could be all right. Yo, what's up, Jeff? How's it going, man? All right, St. Louis. We're going to do St. Louis is going to be versus a left. As a left. No, it's versus a right as a left. St. Louis taking on Zach Thompson. I'm just going to try to do everything in my head. It's stupid. Pride, man. It's all pride. It's all me trying to figure out. Look at that. Two batters. Dickerson and Carlson. Like, this is where St. Louis could be. Okay, so Zach Thompson, right, is a strikeout guy. And he's really good against right-handed bats. But, like, we're going to just take a quick look here. I know we're not, I mean, we're looking at the heat map, so we're looking for the inequities here. But, like, realistically, O'Neill, Goldschmidt, Bader, Arenado, they all hit righties well. Like, I'm not shying away from St. Louis unless, of course, there's rain. But, like, I'm not running from St. Louis here. That's where we have to, again, understand what the heat map is all about. And it's about trying to find some inequities. There's some matchups that really work where you've got the splits really work for you, but it doesn't mean these are the only plays that you can go with. That's really what's important. They've been working, but you don't avoid a play. And that's why we say it when you look at our player pool, because I'm pulling a lot from there. But if a player's not in the pool, it doesn't mean they can't be part of a stack. Like, the pool's preferred plays, but, like, Jonah Heim might not be in the pool, but if he's starting a catcher for Texas, like, I'm using Jonah Heim if I'm stacking Texas, even if he's not in the pool. So that's where you kind of have to look at everything and understand kind of where that data goes. And that's honestly where our Slack chat is huge, because we can talk about that and go, hey, should I be using Jonah Heim? Oh, yeah, he's great for a stack. Like, he's not in the pool, but, you know, I'm not one-offing him necessarily, though I might, but he's not a, you know, he's not a guy we want to avoid. All right, so we're going to go Milwaukee. Last one. I know I got to shut up so I can get this done. Milwaukee versus the left. And then we are not building the player pool itself here. Like, we're going to finish the heat map and then we're done. And then move on to the main slate heat map. The player pool is for members only. So we will build that. We will build that with, I will build that after I get off camera. and then I'll do a little, hopefully I'll have time before work starts, so I can do a little video going over the player pool for members. That's what we do. All right, it's just not listed by WRC Plus anymore. It's so annoying. Okay, we definitely like Milwaukee today. McCutchen, Renfroe, Taylor, Wong. Did I do right as right or no? Just first off. Okay. Rousseau, Adames. Adames actually is more reverse splits than anything. Got to keep that in mind. All right, taking a look here. Is there any other power spot we want to look at? No. Okay. And who pops? Top 2 guys. All right. Alright, so there's our heat map in terms of, now I just got to color code it, adds pitchers and stacks. Power upside. What color did I do power upside in? I can't remember what color. Blue. Alright, Kansas City's a blue team. Colorado's a purple team. Colors mean nothing, they're just the color of the team. We go back and forth with Texas on what color they are. Gomber's reverse splits, isn't he? Let's see, Gomber. No, not last year he wasn't. He was really good against lefties, and it wasn't terrible against righties. I like Texas a lot today, though. Yes. Oh no, I definitely like. I like Texas a lot. Jeff, I really like Texas today. I'll be doing a lot of Texas, Milwaukee. I'll throw a little Colorado in there. That's kind of where I'm headed, and you'll see that when I build the stacks. But we're on the same page with that as well. Cash pitcher is going to be Savale, Hudson, Hauser. Right, Hauser's in a good spot too against Baltimore. GPP pitcher, Gomber is the only guy I'd add in. Maybe Hearn. I just feel like I'm probably just sticking to Savale, Hudson, and Hauser. I am playing light cash, if at all, and mostly sticking to my cash P list. All right, there. Now I feel like I've done right by people. Texas, right-handed bats. Milwaukee, right-handed bats. I'm not even adding plus Yelich. Like, if you can get away from Yelich, I have no problem with that. Like, I don't love Yelich today. We're going to go Colorado, right-handed bats, and I don't feel like we need to add in Blackman or anything like that. I do like St. Louis if no rain. I don't love Baltimore. I think Cleveland's in play. That's kind of it. What else did I miss? Did I miss anything from here? Milwaukee, St. Louis, Texas, Cleveland. I'm not playing Baltimore. I think that my guess is that Johnny is going to tell you that, and he's not wrong. Pittsburgh's in a good spot for leverage, and he's not wrong, as is Baltimore. I just don't, and Kansas City probably as well. I'm just not playing them at this point. Like, this is kind of, I'm playing light overall, and B, that's kind of where my head's at is let's stick with this stuff. Let's stick with this. All right, let's see. Light. All right, there we go. That's it. This is what a heat map looks like. Player pool will be built for members only, and I am going to switch on over now to the afternoon slate. Let's do this. I already preloaded the pitchers. The only one that's not there is Nick Martinez, but we're going to get his data as well in a second. Afternoon slate, or the main slate. Pitching, still kind of bad, though I think we're going to find a couple of names pop out that might actually end up being interesting. So I do think cash is going to come into play a little bit more here. I do think there's a potential. Let's put it that way. Let's see, Nick Martinez, San Diego right-hand pitcher. All right, Nick Martinez. And let's get some data for Nick Martinez. Last time he pitched in the majors was 2017. He pitched 23 games for 111 innings. His K rate was 5.42. He is not a good pitcher. 210 homers per 9. And what was it, 41.6% ground ball rate? Ouch. San Francisco bats, huh? Yikes. All right, we need to go back here to our park factor and San Francisco. We're just going to do what we just did. San Francisco actually was very pitcher friendly. Who's pitching for San Diego here? Give me a San Diego pitcher. No idea who's pitching for San Diego. Oh, for San Francisco, duds, Nick Martinez, Alex Wood. Doug. Alex Wood could be in a really good spot today. Toronto is playing. I was going to say Manoa. I don't see him, but he's the most expensive pitcher at New York. See, that's the problem. It's not a great matchup. Bronx, New York, basically park neutral. Jameson Taillon. Toronto could be a not great matchup for him. Oh, I don't know why I said it was Jeff. I saw Jeff Kaminsky's name for some reason. Sorry, Johnny. See, I know what Johnny's going to say because I'm talking to Johnny. God dang it, man. What is wrong with me? Cedric Mullins season. You and your Cedric Mullins, Johnny. What the hell, man? How do I not know? This is old, man. This is what old looks like. All right, Tampa Bay. All right, I'm going to take a timeout here. I'm going to keep streaming for a second. I will be back in a minute. I just have to step aside for 1 second, and then I will be back. I got to go cry about this Johnny thing. No, I got to run upstairs. I got to run to the bathroom real quick, and then I will come back and we'll finish streaming. All right. All right, we're looking at Hauser's. Oh, Johnny left. Maybe he'll come back. We're looking at Hauser's platoon splits. We're looking at the wrong. I'm looking at the wrong day. Hold on, I want to see what he says. Hauser. They're not that wildly off if you're just looking at last year's data. I actually like Hauser today. That's what I like about Johnny. He comes from a completely different perspective as me, and I love that about him. He keeps me honest. All right, Tampa Bay facing Oakland. Tampa is a pitcher's park. Who's pitching for Oakland? Is Blackburn a lefty? I always want Blackburn to be a lefty, but he's not. He's a righty. Okay. Blackburn. Pitcher's Park. Alright, you know what that is. Oops. What's Atlanta doing today? They're not still facing Cincinnati, nope. At some point, this Washington team is going to just, I don't know. I don't think they're a great offense. Let's see. Josh Rogers. Josh Rogers is a lefty. Oh, Josh Rogers could be in trouble today. Atlanta could be in for a nice day. How many games did he pitch last year? 6. He was... that K percentage is bad. Lifetime. Oh, lifetime. Lifetime. I don't look at lifetime. I only look at last year. I only got time to look at last year. I'm old, man. I can't focus on anything past that. I was just thinking, Johnny, about how when you first started, I had a guy who worked for me, and I'm not, naming names or anything. He doesn't work for us anymore. He thought you were nuts with your, Jesus Christ, I already forgot what I'm doing. With your relief pitchers and all this, and I saw the genius in it all. Like, not to say that I'm a visionary or anything like that, but I love your perspective. And I'm like, no, man, this guy not only has the right idea, like, he's going to come work for us because this guy knows his stuff. And I've loved your perspective on everything. Like, your GPP stuff is outstanding. It just makes me, like, the Gouda and I are so conservative with our picks for the most part. And to have someone who is the complete other end of that, who's kind of a wild man, but in like a good way, it's so refreshing and so helpful to have on staff, because when you're sitting in Slack, you had it yesterday. You've had it with a lot of things. You called the Mats blow up. I had him in cash. Like, data said, go for it. And you were like, yeah, but this is the kind of game where he could completely screw the pooch. And he did. And so for GPPs, if you could get away from him, and I don't think in cash getting away from him was the right way to do it, but in GPPs, getting away from him was definitely the right way to do it. And if you were able to get away from him, you gave yourself a big leg up in GPPs, which is why I love having you there for it. I think it's very refreshing. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't say I'm a wuss about stuff, but it's weird, because I used to be, of all my friends, the one that like wants to go for the wild GPPs and all this, but now I'm in the the parlays, the big parlays, but now I'm way conservative when it comes to that stuff. Do I like Dylan Bundy today? He's so cheap. Oh my goodness. If Dylan Bundy can do anything. Can Dylan Bundy do anything? I can't wait to see the data. I can't wait to see the data on Dylan Bundy. I need to stop talking so much, and I need to start pumping data here. I need to start pumping in data. All right. Ugh, this is the worst part. Please come back. Daily baseball data, you were the greatest thing. Maybe. Maybe. I don't want to talk bad about people, but there's a reason, you work for me. He doesn't. Oh gosh dang. Oh, son of They have last week's plays in there. Now I gotta sit there and manually find each team too. This is awful. Anyway, I think people who sign up for us, it's not enough data here for us to care. All right. People who sign up and work with us or who are in our Slack, they're just getting such a refreshing perspective. And I love your long shot plays. And you're going to hit one day. I can't wait for you to hit a long shot and like a really big, crazy one. I do them every day too. I just don't have it in me. And plus when I do, if I, like last night I had one, I had a long shot and it ended up at, like I only had one leg left, so I hedged, and then I hedged stupidly, so then I had to hedge a second time, and it just didn't work out. I mean, I made money. I ended up making money, but not as much as I could have because I just don't ride it. Like, I just can't ride my thoughts, and it kills me because I should be able to, and I don't. I always hedge, and when I hedge, obviously, I don't make as much money, but I do love those long shots. The best thing to do is not look. You make your bets, you walk away, you go play with the kids or something, and then you check your bets at the end of the night. Washington. This is painstaking right now. We need a site that I can get quicker BVP. Like, I'm sure it's out there, but this is, and I don't want to do this beforehand because Josh Rogers just has. So gosh darn it. Losing that site has been like the worst thing ever. Losing that site, losing daily baseball data. It's just had everything there. This would have taken me, this takes me 3 minutes with daily baseball data. It takes me 20 minutes with this. It's, oh, he doesn't even have BVP. Okay, that's that. Okay, we're moving on. This is where I might just decide to say screw it with BVP and just take it out of the equation. But then I gotta change everything. Take a BVP out just means I change everything, and I don't want to change everything. It's been working. Jeez Louise. I really hate doing this though. This part. Everything else is fine. I don't mind doing any of the other data, but this part is mind numbing. Alicia Hernandez will have no data against them. This is just knowing the players thing. Goodness. Okay. Blackburn might have data. Yeah, I did last night as well. And I did not hedge. I had, what did I take? I got the 100% boost, and I did hits for Bogarts, Rizzo in his first 2 at-bats he walked. It was killing me. JD Martinez, and I hit all 3 of those, and then Dahlbeck, and then he hit that home run, and I was like, hell yeah. And that was emphatic. I only did like, I don't know, $3, $4 on it, so I made like $40. I don't play big. My buddy put 20 on it though, so he did all right. He got 10 to 1. I was happy for him. He don't know anything about baseball, so he just takes whatever I bet and bets it. That was a nice one. Those SGPs are fun. It's the problem though. I just take all the bonuses. Like, getting betting here, like you would think living in Vegas would be like, oh, this is no big deal, but the options to bet in Vegas are straight trash. Flexing this. Not enough data, but that is bad. Let's see, Correa has Buxton only has 3 at bats, but he's 3 for 3. You know what? We don't have any. Small sample size, just the beginning of a large sample size. The betting options in Vegas were garbage compared to what they are here. You couldn't parlay props, and you just couldn't do anything. There were no options. In mobile betting, you couldn't deposit mobily, so you had to go to the casino. And of course, during the pandemic, I wasn't going anywhere, so I just didn't bet, and it was awful. And minimum bet was $5, and which for me is like, all right, well, I'll make 1 or 2 bets. Here it's 10 cents. I bet all day long, and I can bet the craziest parlays, and it doesn't cost you anything to do. So I'm loving it, but it's also, of course, a little dangerous. So because you don't want to get too crazy. I mean, crushed on FanDuel. Did all right MGM for a while. I don't like their site, so I'm just kind of hanging out now for a while with MGM. I can't stand Caesars, but I haven't used. I've never deposited. I just have promo money. So I've just been living off the promo money there. And it kind of goes up and down, though I'm down there currently. On the promo money, not real money, of course. Not enough data. Alex Wood looking very good, just like I said. So, and then DraftKings, I do most of my fantasy on, and I'm up big there because I've been hitting on fantasy at a number of 4-digit wins, which has been wonderful. It's just hard to keep up. That's the thing right now. There's so much. It's so hard to keep up with all the betting sites and all the DFS and all the everything. Oh God, Philly hits him hard. Who hits him hard though from Philly? Let's see. Bomb. Kyle Schwarber. And you know who's been awesome this year? No, you idiot. Oh.